We are live. Kryptonite maneuver. Let's get going on this. Let's get going. Episode 4. I'm so excited. This has been a freaking amazing ride. Amazing ride. All right. Let's see here. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about episode 4, Haywire. Aired last night on CW. So far, so good. Let's get into this. Man, I reviewed the pilot. Seen that one, like I said, 4 times. Reviewed Heritage and then the perks of not being a wallflower. And I think the average for this TV series is about a 9, I would say. It's almost perfect. Almost perfect. Almost perfect. So Haywire continues. Superman and Lois. What can we talk about? We have a little bit more of Sam Lane interacting with the kids, Jordan and Jonathan, and I thought it was kind of interesting. You kind of get a hint of it in the trailer, but this time we kind of get a little bit more of the relationship between the grandpa and the kids, and it's not the healthiest. It does feel like General Sam is just he's a little bit too authoritative. How do you say it? He's coming across as more of a general than a grandfather in this one. So yeah, but let's talk about what's going on in this episode here, Haywire. So we get introduced to another character, which is the guy's name is Tag, one of the high school football players, and I didn't find a picture of him, but basically he has a broken arm, and we saw him in the last episode, The Perks of Not Being a Wallflower, and he has some kind of a power, and it feels very Smallville-ish, if you will, because he's starting to vibrate with his hand. He's got a cast on the arm, and he can't control it. And so I wasn't sure where they were going to go with that, but Jonathan tries to help him out, and then Jordan also comes in. They're at a house, some kind of a party. It's like a house party, cabin party. And Jordan comes in and says, "I can take care of this. I can help this guy calm down or whatever," because he's just vibrating like crazy. I wasn't sure if he was going to be like the Flash or something like that. So Jordan holds him, and then the guy just basically his cast explodes off, and Jordan gets hurt, and the guy passes out. And so Jonathan tries to call his dad with the little Jimmy clicker. And meanwhile, Superman is battling a new character that we get introduced to. I'm not too familiar with this character. Apparently he's part of the Intergang. He's like a professor, and he creates weapons for the bad guys, including himself. He has one weapon that's like some kind of shockwave blaster, energy blaster or something. But we get introduced to him at the beginning, and it reminded me a bit of Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise, and I can't remember the bad guy's name. Same thing, he's in a straitjacket. They're transferring him. They want Superman to watch over the transfer because Superman and Lois moved to Smallville. Crime is starting to pick up in Metropolis, and General Lane kind of blames that on Superman. He's like, "Is this the reason why you moved out? Is to I don't know, take care of your kids and all that kind of stuff." It's basically not a good enough reason for the general, because now crime is going up and they have to transfer Kilgrave. and he's a very interesting character. I liked him right out of the gate. He's got this weapon. It's like a shockwave weapon that he uses on Superman, and he actually hurts Superman. Like his ears were glowing and everything. And meanwhile, Jonathan's trying to get a hold of him because there's trouble with this kid. And so Superman ends up ending the fight by doing one of these sonic blasts, a sonic clap, if you will, a shockwave. And I thought that was fantastic because I'm sure I've seen him use this in a comic somewhere where he just goes like this and boom, mountains fall apart and all this kind of stuff. So that was pretty good. I liked the scene. Uh, Obviously knocked out Kilgrave and then calls General Sam and says, "You're gonna have to clean up the mess. I gotta go look after my boys." So he goes back to the party, the school, wherever they were, and takes this kid way up into the air to calm him down. It almost seemed like he took him up so high that he actually knocked him out, knocked him unconscious. So that was kind of interesting. Like I said, it felt a little bit like Smallville, and some people like that, some people don't. My fear is it's gonna start looking like Smallville, almost like a retake, a revision of Smallville, and I don't want that for this TV show. I I was worried about that when they moved back to Smallville. I was worried, man. They got kids, teenagers, all this kind of stuff. It's gonna, they could really stretch this out over 10 seasons and just have everything about Smallville. And it's not really what I want. I don't want a grown up version of Superman in Smallville. I'd rather have the whole family in Metropolis. Because to me, Superman grew up, and when he grew up, he left Smallville. That was the whole point. Moving on to bigger and better things, he felt he could do more good by moving to Metropolis and taking care of crime and all this kind of stuff. So now he goes back to Smallville. And that part, I get it. A part of me feels like it's a smaller set and all this kind of stuff, so you can actually reduce your budget because you're in a small town. It's very difficult to continuously film in a city because of COVID and who knows what, and to give a real nice look to Metropolis, it's very difficult. It's very expensive. So I get it. I get why they moved to Smallville. But my worry is this is going to end up being Smallville. I hope it's not. Smallville was great. Tom Welling and everyone in that series, but I don't want to see this again. I don't have time to watch 10 episodes of watching these kids grow up and all that kind of stuff. So, there's my 2 cents. Other than that, thought it was pretty fantastic. At the end, we get Morgan and Leslie Lar together, and they find a mine, and it's a Kryptonite mine. And I heard in another YouTube channel, I forget the guy's name, but I guess it was mentioned that it was Kryptonite, and this is the first time I've ever heard of Kryptonite being called that. When I was a kid, there was different types of Kryptonite. There was red Kryptonite, blue Kryptonite, green Kryptonite, yellow Kryptonite, all this kind of stuff, and that would have different effects on Superman and his powers and all this. So Lex is wanting to build a bunch of Supermen, if you will, a super army, and who knows for what reason other than take over the world. And he says something like he wants to resurrect an army from the dead or something like that. So it's interesting. I like that he works with Leslie Lar and says, after you, and she smashes a hole through the cave or the tunnel, wherever they are, the mine, and then we see all this Kryptonite in there. The picture there shows that it's orange, but it felt like it was a little bit more reddish, kind of greenish kind of thing. So I don't know. We'll see. This is kind of an interesting development. I was expecting to see Captain Lex in this one. I didn't see him. This is 2 episodes that he hasn't been in here. So he was in the pilot, which was great, and he was also in Heritage. So I think he's just in the process. Looks like from the end of this episode, when they show the trailer for the next episode, that Lex is back and he built a weapon. It looks like a bazooka, a glorified bazooka. And when he sees Superman flying off, he actually uses that bazooka to shoot at him. So it's kind of interesting. And he's on to Lois. So he's like, wherever Lois goes, Superman will follow. So maybe he knows who Clark Kent is. Who knows? So it's an interesting development. We get to know the kids a little bit more. We get to know Jonathan just a little bit more. He is, let's see if I could find him here. Jonathan is basically tired of Smallville because he's like second fiddle. He doesn't even get to play football anymore. Jordan gets to play football. So he's a little bit jealous right now, which we were kind of expecting that the two brothers were going to be a little bit like this. We don't see them fight or anything like that, but you could tell there's a little bit of tension. John wants to go back to Metropolis. He was a football player there, and here he's not really doing anything. He's just on the sideline. So I get his frustration. It's an interesting layer that they're adding. I'm glad that they talk about that he is frustrated. He's not just a kid that's just like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I like that. And Jordan likes football still, all this kind of stuff. It clearly looks like we're setting this up for Jordan and Sarah to be an item, to be together, because they seem like they have a genuine interest in each other. So that's kind of cool. We get a little bit more of Chrissy, and she's a little bit concerned because Lois is always going after Morgan Edge. And one thing that I thought that was kind of different, but not surprising, is Lois likes to go off on her own to meet Morgan Edge, and we know that Morgan's a bad guy. At least the audience does. I don't know if Clark does yet. I think he did mention something like, this guy is trying to kill you or something like that, and you're still going to go talk to him, something like that. But I just thought maybe Clark could have tagged along. That would have been interesting to see Morgan Edge and Superman and Lois Lane and Leslie Lar, the four of them together in one scene would have been pretty cool, because I would have liked to see Superman and Leslie Lar check each other out and maybe use X-ray vision, go, hey, this guy's got superpowers, she's got superpowers. It's coming. It's coming. And the sad thing is we get one more episode and then we get a break till the middle of May. It's like a 7-week break. Kind of sucks because it's just starting to get good. Like I said, the fight scene with Shockwave, or Shockwave, Killgrave versus Superman was great. It felt like I was watching a movie, a comic, live action comic. So I love every time Superman dons the cape. I love it. It's absolutely amazing. So that's it for this. There's not a lot to talk about other than the ending is kind of interesting, because I think we're starting to get to the good stuff now, where we're seeing the build up now of Leslie Lar. We know she has superpowers. We just don't know how this all works. So I think the next episode, they might take a break from Leslie Lar and Morgan and then focus on Lex a little bit. So you can see there's lots of pieces moving here. So it's interesting. Very excited, very tired, because it's on at 10 o'clock at night, and I got to get up to go to work at about 4:30 in the morning. So I'm feeling it now. And I want to get this review up as quick as possible before everyone else gets their reviews up. I wanted to get up there. And so, yeah. So let me know what your thoughts are on this TV show. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I do a lot of polls on Twitter about the various characters and all this kind of stuff. So feel free to interact on Twitter as well. It's the same name, Kryptonite Maneuver. It's actually Kryptonite Man 1. Couldn't spell out Kryptonite Maneuver in its entirety. So there you go. Thanks for watching.